This is Out Loud and Laughing.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Welcome Jim back.
I'm back.
He missed us.
It's been that long. It's been like 7 days, and I'm like, have me back, please.
That's so
Anything-
narcissistic. We missed him.
Anything for these spins on Spotify and iTunes, guys.
Listen, she is working.
So I'm hustling. But this is like after hours, so this is a little more. It's a little more fluid. It's a little more loose.
This is Jim Uncut.
Right. Well,
Well, raise your hand if you're.
I was saying, well, not really. But
Oh my god. That's
How are you, Jim? How's it going? Last time we chatted with you, it was all music's released. Now
Yeah.
it's what phase are
Like
we in
3
now?
months. Been out like 3 months now, which is crazy. So in 10 days, I'm in LA, going to shoot the video for the new single. Working with Brad Hammer. So Brad's worked with like David Archuleta and done like a bunch of like RuPaul girls. And he's a very well-known kind of director, doing a lot of work with gay artists. And John Duff, I'm not sure if you're familiar with John. He's great too. So yeah, very excited about it.
That's super cool. Do you guys have any concepts? Like, can you spill any tea about what
Yeah.
you're
So basically, I wanted something that was a little bit more innuendo driven. And it's like, listen, like there's a market for everything, right? Like I love the artists who can like prance around in a jock strap and, you know, they don't give a shit, right? I love that. That's just not my jam. I'm a little bit more like guys in suits. So it's very corporate, right? Which I know you two can relate to. So it's a fantasy. So I'm going to be in this office space in like a huge, massive conference room, right? And there are my dancers who are also going to be, you know, acting in it, and I'll be like fantasizing, and we'll be like doing a meeting or whatever, and it's a corporate office setting, and I'll like, you know, blink my eyes, and they'll be totally naked. And I'll be like, oh, what? Like, what's going on? And they're clothed again. And so it's kind of like this sort of fantasy of like being dickmatized during work, and then like you are totally horny, and then you get on the subway and you see guys like cruising each other, but it's like very look and softly done, not like, you know, super evident that you're doing it. There's some dance stuff in it. I've got a choreographer I'm working with. So yeah, it's gonna be like my pop star moment, you
I
know?
have many questions, Jim.
Yeah.
First is, are you going to be shirtless? Probably yes.
We'll see how I feel. It might be like a game time decision. No, listen, it's like it's all about lighting. And like if I don't look a certain way, I mean, I will not fucking do it. So
Secondly, can John and I go? Because you just mentioned a bunch of naked men on set, and John and I will be happy to help out any way we can.
I mean, we can be like, they're my content creators, be like the creepers, like hovering in the corner. Like we could do that if you want.
working out so hard. It's so hard. We can take
Oh,
our shirts off.
These are my hired, you know, they're professionals. You know, don't mind them with their hands down the front of their pants. It's totally normal for content creators.
Yeah, we're fluffers.
They
It's on
just
my
want-
LinkedIn.
They want to be close to the action, you know.
My only fan
Yeah.
is all about edging. That's it. Like,
Mhm.
it doesn't ever get fully finished.
Right. Which
Wait,
is
hold
perfect.
on. So, is this concept for Take a Bow? Is this for
Good Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that,
Oh, yeah.
that's a good song.
I
What?
think so. Yeah.
No more-
Let's hope
no
the
more-
gay bars like play it and like people watch it and they like it. So
Listen, I texted you, Jim. You are my walk home sometimes, and I just need that after work energy. I'm just like,
love
you know,
that. I love that. I'm always like hoping, like, are people still listening to it? Like, what are people coming back to? Like I said, like I just wanted to stay with people, you know?
I mean, at least you
Woven into
didn't,
my favorites.
it's
Love it.
true. At least you didn't drop it the same week as Taylor.
Well, I mean, nobody gives a shit about me, but like, this is the thing. I'm not like a Swiftie by any means, but I'm not gonna like yuck someone's yum if you like her, right?
Yes.
I'm like, hey, like, you love her? That's awesome. I just get I get a little uncomfortable with like the friendship bracelet thing if you're in like your 40s as a gay man. Like, I'm kind of like, like maybe for like a concert, like for her, like if you're trying to be festive, but I just there a line has to be drawn, and I think that worries me a little bit. You know, does that
I
make
mean,
sense?
we could steal the concept though. Like Taylor Swift does bracelets, and like Jim does cock rings.
Well, that's already part of my merch. That's dropping like my next drop. Merch and black straps.
And it sings. It sings when you put it on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, but you know what I'm saying? I just feel like we can talk about this too, but like I think that there are a lot of us as we grew up as kids. I think we looked for women of strength,
Hmm.
right? And I think that a pop star embodies that, right? They're sort of like um, fearless and confident, and they're performing, and we as gay men see ourselves, I think, in them or want to. But then it's like, well, what about the gay men that are doing that? And we're not like rallying behind them. Like Sam Smith, for example, has been around for a long time. Why aren't we all like dying over what he's putting out, or promoting him, or like, hey, like he's a part of our community? Like we should be, we don't have to like listen to him all day long, but I do think that there is a disconnect, I think, between like gay men, not all gay men, but like some gay men, and openly gay male artists sometimes. No?
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with that. I see that, and we see it in our own community. We see it across multiple, I'll, for the lack of a better term, I'll say verticals, right? Like, be it music, be it like even, in our own communities. I just feel like it's more safe to sort of shut out and own your own than it is to sort of share openly. But I feel that it's actually the opposite. The more we share, the more everybody wins. Like we could be kind of like create like a movement of like, hey, here's all this great music that's being put out by our community. I agree completely, but it's a hard toe to tie because I always want to get super existential and deep with it, but like when you talk about a community who's been traumatized, it's really difficult to sort of like lead with healthy sort
Yeah.
of behaviors.
I mean, I almost call bullshit on that.
Yeah.
And I only call bullshit on that because like if you look at the black community, they are so good at uplifting each other, right? If you look in the women, like women support women. I feel like the gays just are just doing a bad job. Like let's just be honest here. Like we're just not doing a good job supporting our own when it comes to like the amount of people that have listened to Taylor Swift's album like hundreds of times and it's been out for what, less than a week.
Yeah.
And Jim's just out here hustling, doing his thing, and making sure people just know, he's back and he's doing some amazing shit. It's just two different things, and our community loves fucking music. So why is it so hard, you know?
Um, I- it's funny because I look at Taylor Swift like she's a corporation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like she feeds a lot of families and makes a lot of money for a lot of people. Um, and we can't have it all with every artist that we love, right? Like we can't have Taylor be super like liberal and outspoken about how disgusting our president is. And I would love for her to be more of that, to be honest, because I would
Hmm.
probably be a little bit more intrigued by that. But I just feel like we have such incredible talent in our own community, like brilliant singers like Adam Lambert, who came, a few seasons after me on Idol, is like one of the best male vocalists ever to come out of that show. And I think we should be like lifting him up. Like I think that we should be going to his shows and like talking about him and saying like what an incredible representation this man is for our community, but we just like don't do that. So it's like, let's break it down. Like why? Is it jealousy? Is it like secretly that we all wish that we were him and so we're not going to talk about that? Is it internal homophobia where like maybe like something inside of you just doesn't click, and women and female pop singers are just safer to kind of adore and lift up? Is it pure jealousy? Like I don't know what it is, but like Adam is like an exceptional
Hmm.
singer and talent. So like, Troye Sivan is probably the closest, I think, if I think of like pop stardom, cross appeal, like gay community kind of, I think, getting behind Troye Sivan. But again, I think we have like a long way to go with that.
What do you think,
Thoughts?
Brian?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't disagree. I think you're right. I read a meme, which I do think is funny, that every gay attaches themselves to one female pop artist, and they just kind of ride that wave, and they dedicate their lives to that female artist. And I think it's probably what you were saying. It's like we were so like closeted, we were so in our own that was like our way of, oh yeah, I like women, I follow
Yeah.
this person, but secretly, like for me, it was Britney, right? Like I
Yeah.
was all day long. Um, but now that we're adults, how do we get over that hump? right? Like I'm like you. Like I no disrespect to Swifties. Like all good. Her music's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not I've listened to her album once because my husband listens to it, so I'm just trying to show some respect for when it's on the car. I actually know what I'm listening to, but it's
Fair.
not something that I'm like dying to listen to over and over again. But yeah, I wonder there must be more psyche into why this is.
I was thinking about it. Can I dive in real quick? I didn't mean to jump in front of anybody,
I
Jim.
To
hope you would.
dive.
I hope you would.
At first, swan dive, Thelma and Louising this bitch right now. I was just thinking about it. Like we were always taught, or I'll speak for myself and then I'll let you guys weigh in. I was always taught to kind of not exist, right? In church, in my family, to not be my authentic self, that gay, that this, that like I had to sort of put aside who I was to become and fit molds, right?
Mhm.
That I was told to be. Inside of that, I find that it to your point, Jim, like it is this like sense of internalized homophobia. The more shame that we
Mm,
build with that, the more we're going to distance ourselves and sort of not find beauty and not find like individuality and sort of that sense of like, I don't know, for the sake of this conversation, stardom. Like I want to put that word on it because like just for the sake, like how can we ever like amount that to be stardom if we're taught that like we're supposed to be dust? It's like
Yeah.
and so it comes like as a way of like distancing us from what we're taught to reject.
Mm. It's a valid point. Like I think about when I was growing up, like who I loved as like
mm,
a artist, right? And at first it was very Madonna. I remember watching her videos and just being like, she was so in your face. She gave no fucks. She was the embodiment of like a superstar, stunning, great pop songs. She was fearless. And she also stood for something. Like she was the most outspoken person for our community in the late 80s and early 90s, more so than most people were. So she was iconic from like the get-go. And then it was Paula Abdul because she was all like, she had great pop songs that were super well crafted, incredible dancer and choreographer and performer. And then things shifted. Here's the funny thing. The minute I got on Idol and I met Kelly Clarkson and she sang on the same stage that I did, it was that day forward that she became my number one. Like
mm,
I I would go to all of her shows. I would I don't have like merch or anything, but like I stand for her. And not just because I knew her and like we were friends and we toured and we experienced something that was really life-changing, but she truly was one of the best voices I had ever known at that time in real life. So I had a very personal connection to her. And so my day one since I was 19 to even to today is Kelly. Like no one can do what she does. She is live. Mike is always fucking on.
mm-hmm.
Every time she covers someone's song, it belongs to her, period. She sings like she writes it. And I don't think there are many artists right now that we have in that echelon of like Whitney, Mariah, Adele, maybe I would probably put up there. Um, Kelly is like probably one of the best, Celine Dion, right? One of the all-time best vocals we have. So it shifts, but for me, that draw to her is different. It's personal, but it's also because of like just pure talent with her. So I don't know. It's just interesting. I just feel like there ever going to be a time when we have like a full-on Justin Timberlake, but a gay male, right? George Michael, I think, like had it, as an artist from the UK, but I think will we have it in America?
I mean, it's interesting. I think why can't both be true, right? Like I have mad respect for so many female vocals. Like to your
Ah,
point, Kelly is a boss, and like anything that she puts out, like she can
yeah,
just say, like she can sing farts and it'll be beautiful.
100%.
But like we, it's interesting when you say like I had Madonna and like that was someone that I looked at, but we also had people in our community like an Elton John, Freddie Mercury, all these different people that were also of our community at the time, but none of us looked at them, even growing up as like any
Yeah,
sort of like sort of almost to John's point, like were we taught to not look at them, or we should because we thought it was the wrong thing, right? Like because like they were around, they were big, but I also think now that we're in the modern day age, both can be true. Like I don't know
yeah,
how much we want to dig into this, but like I can respect female artists and then also
Yeah.
listen to you. I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of gays almost look at other gay artists as novelty, like, oh, I'll hear it at the club, or
Right.
I'll listen to it
Right.
once when I saw Jim's post, and then I'll go back to
Yes.
Taylor or something. And it's like, why can't
Right.
I just make it a part of my daily routine? Because it's good fucking music, it's uplifting, it is
Yeah.
someone that I'm also supporting, and both can be true.
Like
Why is
love
this so
both.
hard?
Support both. Like you can have both. You don't have to like listen to me all day every day. Like you don't have to. But why isn't it a part of like your get ready to go out playlist? Or why isn't it a part of like your I'm about to get it in playlist? Like this is why I'm doing this is like not to be a novelty. Like I'm doing this because A, I love it, but two, I wouldn't put shit out if I didn't love it
Hmm.
myself. So I don't know. I think too, with that point of like Elton John, like I think back when I came out publicly, we had Katie Lang and Rufus Wainwright. And those are the two artists that I can remember. I mean, Ellen DeGeneres had come out 4 years before I did, right? Rosie O'Donnell and I came out the same year in 2002. So we didn't have, I didn't have anyone to look up to and be like, oh, that's the career I'm going to model mine after. I'm going to go to that manager who's handling you know, fill in the blank of a young gay pop artist because
Hmm.
they're not take a risk on someone who's openly gay. Like I didn't have that growing like when I came out and after Idol. I came out before my career even really started. So I think I was just trying to figure it out. But I think too, there is a degree of I think sexual attraction to our pop star, right? I think there is that fantasy element to it where if you don't feel drawn to them or if they're not sexy to you, I think you're less inclined probably to like as if you're especially if you're, a gay male pop singer, right? Like I think that there needs to be some kind of sexual attraction to be like, oh, he's so hot, like I'll listen to him. I think we're a little more forgiving when someone finds you attractive. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Like it's sort of like an I feel like the people who, let's call attraction by today's standards, right? Like
Yeah,
symmetrical faces, a good
sure.
physique, hygiene, great body, makeup, face, whatever.
Yeah.
Say all those things are in place. I say, Brian's putting his hands out as if he wants, is that another corn dog, Brian?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Big corn dog.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I think with all those things in place, I think it's a little bit easier. You get a few passes. You can like even make mistakes like on stage, probably not
Yeah.
get made as fun of as much on social media. Taylor Swift sort of leans into it because she's just so beautiful. And
Yeah.
I I was thinking about though how interesting because what if we were allowed to as gay boys
Mhm.
sexualize and appreciate not only just the music but also uh, the lifestyle of the Elton Johns and the David Bowies of our time when they would almost exploit their music and then hide every other part of them that they felt wasn't right for mainstream, including their personal lives, spiraling them into, of course, the lifestyles that they were led to live in the shadows. But what would it have been like for us if we were allowed to sexualize like artists that we would, like, okay, Jim, like the boys today who are probably out high school, you much younger, they get idols like yourself now to not only look up to because you're incredibly talented, but you're also beautiful to look at. You're a gorgeous specimen of a human being, inside and
Very
out.
kind.
So, I wonder what it would have been like for us if we were given sort of the right to like sexualize whoever we wanted and not just have to sit the standard on like these women who now have to work so much harder to like compete with each other. And you guys kind of see where this is going. I don't need to
Yeah.
fill it in too much.
No, that's a game-changing question. Like
Hmm.
if we all came up in a world where being gay was completely accepted from the get-go, how would we perceive artists that embodied who we were? Would that shift? Like, we have felt way more comfortable and way more like connected and attached to an openly gay singer? Like, would we just be like, oh my God, like that's like I'm watching me. I'm seeing a representation of me.
Yes.
Would we be more like invested in that artist, right? If we had a Madonna equivalent in like the early, like in the like 90s, right? Who did what she was doing to her degree of artistry, reinvention, all of it. What would that look like for us? Could we have seen artistry through a different lens if we were all from the get-go accepted and comfortable with who we were?
I mean, maybe, right? I think even if we were accepted, even in this day and age, we're never fully accepted. So there's still a part of you that hides a little bit. Yeah, but I think it's a good question because it's just, it boggles my mind that we're even talking about this. And it just makes me sad because even the fact that, yes, we grew up a little more closeted, we didn't have that. In this day and age, though, we're talking about it. So we at least understand that this is an issue and it's still an issue. And so I'm wondering, like, what needs to change? Right? Like, how do we move forward in this space to like help elevate artists like yourself, help change the narrative here versus looking in the past? Like, what do we do here?
I think, like I was telling my husband this the other day. I was like, you know what? I want to make a concerted effort to like make sure that we go see like queer artists like live. Like I want to go, even if it's like some dive bar to United Center, right? Like a major
Yeah.
arena show. And we'll say those things and then we'll pull up ticket prices and we'll be like, well, fuck, we can't afford that. Like Sam Smith, when he was here, was like unaffordable, which I'm happy for, obviously, at the same time, but like I can't even afford to go support some of these people. Like Troye
Mm.
Sivan and Charlie XCX was like $500. I'm like, I can't spend that kind of money for like a 2.5 hour show, right? So glad that they have that support and glad that they can charge those prices. But at the same time, I would love to be more, uplifting of these people, but sometimes it's just pricey and like you just can't do it. That will never happen for me ever. But like I do think that like we're very cognizant of that. And, even Rebecca Black, who I don't know if you guys
Mm.
are familiar with, like she opened for Katy Perry this year, and we saw her at like this tiny like dive bar. I think it was like $60 to go see her. And I was like, the fact that she's come this far, and then now she's opening for Katy Perry, is amazing. And I was so glad to support her, an out lesbian pop artist who's come so far since like that Friday song, which is hilarious. Amazing. Like I'd love to do that and show up for,
Hmm.
you know.
Jim, what's your Rachel Black moment? Who are you opening for? What is it like? What does that become for you? Who do we have to call?
I mean, I think that like it needs to make sense, right? I think like I would love it for it to be a queer artist. I think that like just makes sense for me.
Hmm.
And whether it's male or female, I don't think that that's really like an option. Like I don't really care, to be honest, but
A great
we're
point.
not ready for that point. I mean, I just think it needs to make sense. I think there needs to be a connection and I think there needs to be like a fan base that would probably like my stuff because of the main act, right? I mean, in a fantasy land, like I think of like Hilary Duff or um, Rebecca Black or Carly Rae Jepsen or Kesha or I mean, even on like the male side, I guess like Troye Sivan, would be awesome. But like, a great pop artist, like would be awesome to open for.
A
Yeah.
Kesha Jim version of Blow, like
Yeah.
remixed, like
Ooh,
bad,
that would be.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love that.
Sorry,
I love
Brian.
that.
Yeah.
No, don't be sorry. Uh, we'll manifest that for you, Jim.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
will be front row if you do it. So, well, we'll be front row whenever you go on stage. So you just let us know.
that is the correct answer. That is the
That is
correct
the
answer.
absolute correct answer, but there better be a bar. For me. John will give some gummies.
I'll
I
figure it
just,
Uh,
out. I'll figure it out.
I'll just have a bottle like on a chair for you that just says Brian.
Perfect. With a
Brian.
straw. With a straw.
Yeah,
That's all I need.
that's
Uh,
it.
Since we're doing an after hour show and we all have our vice currently, we want to dig a little bit into Jim,
Yeah.
the Insta DMs. What is
Okay.
happening sometimes with our people? Do you have a fan base that's thirsty sometimes and sending you some fun shit?
Legit. I just want to
I
clarify
know.
that legit
Shit.
means
Yeah, I was like that.
shit
That didn't
and
come out
stuff.
perfect. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there we go.
I've known him
Yeah.
for 40 years, Jim. I
We
got
need
this.
to know, Jim, because you are a
Yeah.
good-looking human being. You've been
Yeah.
around for a while. You have a good following. Let us know.
Yeah. I mean, that is common.
And if that's you, and if
That's
you're
so
listening,
political, by the way.
I know,
Yeah.
because and if that's you, and if because you're listening, you damn stalker, like know that they share it with everybody at brunch on Sunday, and so you're just being laughed at. So say
Yeah,
you
I never
can.
said it was welcome, Jim, but people are probably sliding in. You're probably like, ooh, okay.
I would say like for the most part, like, you know, I'm not like, ugh, like usually, like it's very like, oh,
So
like it's not
I have a
insulting.
girlfriend who's this like she's like becoming like a TikTok micro influencer, and so she
Oh,
did a live, and I went on her live, and then one of her followers started following me. Can I tell you what his name was, please?
Yes, please.
yeah.
You tonight, tongue you tonight. I'm like, that's really your user. That's what we're going with.
That's deep.
I mean, let's
Wow.
hope. if we're gonna go there, I mean, might as well. Jeez, don't waste my
I
time.
mean, shame is no longer a thing, I don't think. And I do think too, like for the most part, like I do think like first of all, Europeans are so much more open and comfortable about nudity than we ever could or will be. In fact, when we went to Berlin, like I remember like just taking a walk in this like beautiful like outdoor area, and there was this gorgeous like wooded park. And there were people like totally naked sunbathing like on like a towel. It's like not a thing, like nobody gives a shit. So I think for me, being younger and not as evolved with my sexuality and sort of keeping it kind of, you know, quiet, I think that I looked at the male body as something that was very sacred. And I also never wanted to show that I was attracted to it, particularly in like a gym setting, you know, when we were like changing. And I was overweight as a kid. So I was very like, I would go into like the stall and like change my clothes because I was just, you know, not comfortable.
Yep.
But I think now, especially like in my 40s, I think I look at the male body just very differently. Like I just think, you know, not like you've seen one dick, you've seen them all, but I'm not as like I'm not clutching my pearls as much about it. Like I think it's just like, I mean, women, you know, have been topless for the longest, and like no one bats an eye anymore. So I don't know. I guess it's just not as like, you know.
Well, because it's happening so much, right? I think you
Well,
talked
yeah.
about at the very beginning with like people who can run their mouth on comments and say shit,
Yeah.
but then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh no, I didn't really mean that. I'm sorry." It's like, well, it's so easy to comment,
Right.
just like it's so easy to like not have any sort of connection with someone and just be like, I'm gonna send them something, and it's
Right.
just it's very gay culture.
Totally.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but it is gay culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good when Taylor Swift comes out with "You Need to Calm Down." Like that was a great song.
Well, I just also love that Taylor is like kind of like playing to her gay fans, and she's like, "Oh, my husband has like the hottest gay friends ever," and I'm just like, "Okay, girl,
Yeah,
calm down."
you need to calm down. Yeah, touche, Jim. That's amazing.
Well, we always appreciate you coming on, Jim.
Yeah, always.
This was Out Loud and Laughing. We're available everywhere you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.